previous year question on hydraulic machines, which is a civil engineering 4th semester subject. So let's first read the question. The internal and external diameter of the impeller of a centrifugal pump are given as 200 mm and 400 mm. Okay, the question is related to centrifugal pump. Now what else is given? The pump is running at 1200 rpm, that is the speed of the pump is given. Then the vane angles of the impeller of inlet and outlet are 20 degree and 30 degrees respectively. Again what it is saying, water enters the impeller radially and velocity of flow is constant. So before writing the given data, let us understand some basic principle behind this centrifugal pump. So firstly, whenever a question is given on centrifugal pump, first thing we need to do is we need to draw the velocity triangle of it. The velocity triangle at the impeller. So here I have taken small portion of the impeller with a single impeller blade. This is impeller blade, and this circle is the inlet circle and this is outlet. So if let's see, this is the center, water will come from here and go from here. So from inlet water is coming and from outlet water is going. So this question is saying that water enters the impeller radially. So this is the tangent to the inlet and this is tangent to the outlet. It is saying water is entering radially, means it is making a 90-degree angle like this to the tangent, inlet tangent. So let's say water is entering like this. We are denoting the absolute velocity of water as V1. So let's say water is entering at the absolute velocity of V1. Now this impeller is also moving. So let's say impeller is moving in this direction. So impeller will also have some velocity in this direction. So parallel to this tangent, we will have one velocity of impeller which we are denoting as U1. Okay. So we have impeller velocity and we have absolute velocity of water. So what will happen? The water will enter at a relative velocity of these two velocities. Water is actually entering the impeller with a relative velocity. So if we join these two, we will have a velocity we are denoting as VR1. Okay, VR1 is the relative velocity, which is the actual velocity of water with which it is entering the impeller. So this subscript 1 we are denoting as denoting for the inlet. So this completes our inlet velocity triangle. Similarly, we have to draw the outlet velocity triangle. So here, as water is entering like this, let's say water is moving out of the impeller like this. So it will move with the actual velocity, that is the relative velocity, which we can denote as VR2. This subscript 2 we are giving for outlet velocity triangle. So this is the relative velocity of water with which the water is moving. Now similarly, as the impeller is moving in this direction, we will have impeller velocity here also. Now let's see, we will have U2 over here. Now how to know the value of U1 and U2? As the speed of the impeller is given as in RPM, rotations per minute, we can convert it in form of meter per second. The formula we can use is U equal to pi dn by 60, where d is the diameter, okay, and n is the speed in RPM. So if you want to find out the impeller velocity at the inlet, U1 will be pi d1n by 60. Similarly, for outlet, we will have U2 equal to pi d2n by 60. Now, from here you can see that if this is the center of the impeller, this we have R1, that is radius at the inlet, and similarly this we will have R2, radius at the outlet. So from here it is clear that R2 is greater than R1, which means D2 is greater than D1, and U is directly proportional to D, so U2 will be greater than U1. So U1 is this let's say u2 is little greater than u1, okay, in this direction because impeller is moving in this direction. Now if we join these two, what we will get? We have relative velocity and absolute velocity. What is missing over here? The relative velocity and velocity of the impeller we have. Here absolute velocity is missing. So this will be absolute velocity, which can denote as v2. Okay. Now another important thing is the angle between these v1, v2 and vr2, or v1, v2, angle between the velocities. First thing is angle between u and v. Okay. For inlet, this will be denoted as alpha. For outlet, this is denoted as beta. That is, alpha is the angle between u1 and v1, beta is the angle between u2 and v2. So here u1 and v1, this will be alpha, u2 and v2, this will be beta. Similarly, angle between vr and u is denoted as, for inlet, theta, for outlet, phi. Okay, so theta will be angle between vr1 and u1, phi will be vr2 and u2. So over here, this angle vr and u1, we have theta, and here we have vr2 and u2, this will be phi. Okay. Now so another important thing is this absolute velocity v, that is v1 or v2, can be split into two components. So let it be theta, so it will be v cos theta, and v cos theta is also denoted as vw, which is called wall velocity. Okay. Similarly, it will be v sin theta, also denoted as vf and called as flow velocity. Okay. Now in here, what we see, the angle, the water is entering radially, so this is 90 degree. So this angle will also be 90 degree. Okay. So if it is 90 degree, the component of v in this direction will be 0, which means the vw1 will be 0. So v1 will completely contribute to the flow velocity, that is vf1 will be v1, because sin theta, that is sin 90 degree, will be equal to 1. So when alpha equal to 90 degree, vw1 equal to 0 and vf1 equal to v1. But here we have some angle, it is not exit radially, or we don't know this angle. So here we can split this v2 into two components. It will be sine component, that is vf2, and from here to here we have vw2. Okay, from here to here we have vw2 and v of f2. So this completes the basic behind the solving this equation. Let's come to the given data. What is given in this question? So let's see the given data. The internal and external diameter of the centrifugal pump is given, that is D1 and D2 are given as 200 mm and 400 mm. If you convert it into meters, we will get 0.2 meter D1, 0.4 meter D2. Again, the pump is running at 1200 rpm, that is N is given as 1200 rpm. Then it is saying that water is entering radially. So as I explained, if water is entering radially, this will be 90 degree. So this alpha will be equal to 90 degree. If alpha is 90 degree, we don't have cos component, which means vw1 will be 0 and v1 will be equal to vf1. Then lastly we have flow velocity. It is saying that the velocity of flow is constant. So I already said flow velocity is the sign component of this absolute velocity, that is vf1 and here vf2. It is saying flow velocity is constant. That means this Vf1 is equal to Vf2. So using these data, let's try to solve the what is asking. It is asking to determine the work done by the impeller per unit weight of water. So the formula for work done is work done per unit weight per second for a centrifugal pump is given as 1 by G Vw2 U2 minus Vw1 U1. So this is the formula for work done. Now as Vw1 is equal to 0, this term won't be there, it will be 0. Which means work done will be equal to 1 by G Vw2 U2. So to find out work done, we need to find out Vw2 value and U2 value. So firstly, to find out U2 value, U1 and U2 we can directly find out from the formula, which is pi d1 n by 60 and U2 will be pi d2 n by 60. So we have pi into d1 we have 0.2 and we have 1200 by 60. Here pi into 0.4 into 1200 by 60. So these values will come out to be 12.56 meter per second and U2 will be 25.13 meter per second. Okay, so we've got U1 and U2. Now next job is to find out Vw2. So how to find out Vw2? If you see this triangle, okay, one more important given data which I did not mention here is the vane angle. It is saying that vane angle of the impeller at inlet and outlet is given as 20 and 30. So the angle between Vr1 and U1 and Vr2 and U2, that is angle between Vr and U, we are calling it as vane angle. And for inlet, as I said, it is denoted as theta, and for outlet it is denoted as phi. So theta and phi values are given in the question. So what is given? Theta as 20 degrees and phi as 30 degrees. Okay, so this angle we know as 20 degrees, this we know as 30 degrees. Now we know the U1 value, we know the theta value. We can easily find out the Vf1 value. How? Tan theta is equal to Vf1 or V1 divided by U1. Okay, so Vf1 will be, theta we know theta is 20 degrees, Vf1 will be tan 20 degrees into U1 value we already know as 12.56. So it is coming as, so here tan 20 equal to Vf1 by U1. From here we already know the value of U1, so we can get V1. V1 is coming as 4.57. Vf1 is coming at 4.57 meter per second. Now, as the question says, flow velocity is same, Vf1 will be equal to Vf2. So it is equal to Vf2. Now, in this triangle, we know the value of theta, which is 30 degree. We know the value of Vf2. We can find out the value of Vw2. So tan 30 degree will be equal to this distance Vf2 divided by this, which is U2 minus Vw2. U2 minus Vw2. We have the value of Vf2, which is equal to Vf1. We have the value of U2. We have calculated tan 30. So we can calculate Vw2 value. So from this we can find out Vw2 as 17.215 meter per second. So finally we found out the value of Vw2 and U2. If we put these values in work done equation, which is 1 by G Vw2 U2, 9.81 into 17.215 into U2 is 25.13. So we will get the final result as 44.1 Newton meter per Newton. Okay, this is work done by the impeller per unit weight of the liquid per second. So this is the final answer we will get. And if you say the unit, it is meter per Newton, or else we can also write it as meter. So what is this centrifugal pump doing? It is lifting the water till 44.1 meter of height. Thank you.